how do I even begin? I feel like such a negative Nelly, but I just want to be honest. I feel I'm happy for the win. I'm glad we pulled it out. First win, first goal in the Premier League, but I definitely think that there are some glaring issues that need to still be addressed. Um, let's start with some of the positives. Ramsdale, very good in goal off of his line as a third center back in build up. Very good with his feet, sometimes taking some risks, but it kind of reminded me of Emi Martinez in the way he would take his risks and it would kind of work out for us. Some of the times I do think that when he did play out of the back, we opted to not use, the whole reason why we build out of the back is so that we can draw them out and then play quickly through the lines. We didn't do that, but Ramsdale did his job, and I think that he was very good in goal today. Um, White, I think, did really well as well, and him and Gabrielle seemed to have a nice little thing going on. I didn't see a lot of confusion, a lot of stepping over each other's toes. It really seemed like that combination worked, and I just hope it gets stronger over time. Tamiyasu, great debut, almost scored a goal from a volley, very solid in defense. He has some really good technical quality. You can see why we wanted him in the team. And then, Tierney, still struggling for form, but ultimately still gave 110%, which is the requirement when you're not in form to continue to play. You will play yourself back into form. So I think the back five, I have nothing to complain about. First clean sheet in the league, perfect. I'm fine with that. The midfield is where we started. We really did struggle. I think Lakanga got the raw end of the deal. He was playing with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who I think at this point I'm okay with just saying, like, he's not good enough to play midfield for Arsenal at this level. He's just not. I think he tried really hard, and in those first 20 minutes, he was really good. But as the game began to firm up a little bit, we didn't score, and that nervousness kind of crept in. You could just kind of see the lack of technical quality was really letting him down. He was out of position. He was kind of running into Lakanga, making some errors in possession, and some of his passing was really, really poor. So as much as I like Ainsley, I just don't think that he gives us what we need in midfield. And the thing about it is the way that Arteta wants to play, every single player needs to be of a certain technical quality. You can see what we've brought in, in terms of Tamiyasu and White, Lakanga. These players, they're great on the ball. Ainsley is just not that. And when you want to play really quick, incisive through the lines, 5-yard balls, boom, 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 open up space. When you have somebody that doesn't really have that ability to unlock, because you could see as soon as Thomas came on, everything started to look like that's what we were supposed to be doing. It was because Ainsley is just not up to that standard. He's not up to that level. So I think he played hard, but his lack of technical quality plus Pepe's in that system really, really hurt us. And the ripple effect from that, the domino effect from that is Odegaard suffered, Saka suffered, Aubameyang suffered, Lakanga suffered. So some of your best players tend to suffer when you have just players that need to be of a certain standard on the pitch. ESR coming in really helped us out in terms of being able to play between the lines, get players that are smart enough to understand, and that's no offense to Pepe, but I would say at this point, it's not the wrong thing to say that he's probably not, doesn't have the most football IQ. And then when you don't have the footballing IQ to make the right decisions at the right time to trigger the attack, and he doesn't make the right decisions, plus the fact that his first touch was really bad today, he just was a liability. So ESR being in there really helped us, plus Thomas Partey, and then things started to look like they made sense. Now, should we have to have our best possible team out there against Norwich at home? Absolutely not. And so we are still in a position where if Thomas Partey gets injured, if ESR is unavailable, if Saka is unavailable, if Aubameyang is unavailable, I think we're going to struggle, and that is one thing that I really feel strongly about. And that's why I thought it was important in the transfer window for us to get a midfielder. We didn't get it. It will bite us in the butt. It's already bitten us in the butt before. So now I just think, yes, the end of the game, we were creating chances, but before that, we weren't. And so we have to make sure that we take stock of that as well and try to figure out ways to work around that if our best players are not available. I don't really know how we do that because at the moment, we need Saka, Odegaard, ESR, and Aubameyang and Pepe all out there on the pitch at the same time in order to create an attack that not only creates chances but scores goals. ESR plus Saka has no goals in it. Pepe plus Aubameyang has no technical quality / build-up in it. So you have, and then you have Odegaard, who kind of has to be in there with Aubameyang as well. So you have 5 players there, but there's only 4 positions. So somebody being left out it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. So 5 players, 4 positions. Who sits out? I do believe that Saka and ESR lack end product now. So it's difficult. It's a difficult one, because then you have to look at your double pivot. Do we take a risk and play with one single pivot and just play with Thomas and play with 2 10s, because we have to have 2 10s out on the pitch, but we need scorers. So not getting an attacker is also kind of biting us in the butt, but these are just things that we weren't able to get done. It is what it is, but the issues that we knew that we had in the transfer window that weren't addressed have inevitably reared their ugly heads early on in the season, and I expect in January for us to try to make that up, because I see this being an issue. This is Norwich at home. This is Norwich at home. Like, if Thomas gets injured, what are we going to do? If ESR is not available, what are we going to do? Aubameyang's not available, what are we going to do? So I'm happy that we got the win. I think it was an ugly win, but we got it. So we have to just move on. Got some points on the board. But, I'm looking at it like, okay, we're going to really struggle this season. I can't really see this team hitting the marks that I'm sure that they have, like European football. I can't really see us getting there with this group of players. And this group of players, this puzzle doesn't really seem to be going together. Backline makes a lot of sense. Midfield, when it's perfect, makes a lot of sense. Front line still not really coming together to become a really dangerous attack. So we go to Burnley next week. It's going to be tougher opposition away from home. It's going to be interesting to see how we deal with that. But ultimately, I think getting the win is most important, and it'll probably be enough to save Arteta's job, which is a whole nother question and conversation on its own. But I'm happy with the win, disappointed with all of the football up until we scored the goal. And there's still questions about the depth and quality within the squad. So my name is Jessica. You can follow me on Twitter at @ItchJessino, and I'll see you guys in the next one.